Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. In this video today we are going to talk about a very important hadith which we can find in many Islamic books, and it's very authentic. Just for those who like to see reference, this is from Sahih al-Bukhari, and this is the reference, and this is a very authentic hadith. Now the importance of this story here that expose the last part of Muhammad's life, and if we read together we will notice something very important. When Allah Messenger was in his death bed, so this is where Muhammad was dying. Okay, so this is in the element of death. In the house there were some people, among whom was Umar ibn al-Khattab. Now Umar ibn al-Khattab, he is one of the favorite Islamic caliph for Muslims, and he is one of the strongest names in the history of Islam. And the Muslims, they call him the just Umar, which means they claim that Umar was the most just person between all the Islamic caliph, period. The Prophet said, who is the one who's talking now? The Prophet. But remember, the Prophet is in the last few days of his life. The Prophet said, "Come, let me write for you a statement after which you will not go astray." So this is the statement of the Prophet. The Prophet is asking to bring him papers to write something for them, and that thing will never make them go astray. Now this is, by the way, a hadith. Many of those people who want to prove that Muhammad, he must be a person who write and read, because how he will say bring me something to write in it, and I will write for you, not bring me someone to write for me. It says let me write for you, and what I write for you, those statements, is going to lead you for the rest of your life. Then surprisingly Umar, he said, and here is the danger about this story, the Prophet is seriously ill, and you have the Quran, so the book of Allah is enough for you or for us. If you do not notice how dangerous this statement is, read carefully with me again. And if you are a Muslim or a Christian, doesn't matter. I know the Muslims don't read. They are the same as their prophet, as they claim. They are illiterate nation. So let us say I'm talking to the atheists and the Christians, the Hindus, whoever have a brain. When Muhammad, he say, let me write for you something, let me write for you kitab. Actually, kitab is not a statement. Translation here is false. Kitab is kitab as a word can be used as anything you write, and it can be used for a full book. So he is deciding right now in his element of death to write for them a book, and this book will not let them go astray ever. Umar ibn al-Khattab, he have different opinion from Muhammad. Umar, he said, the Prophet is seriously ill. He is what? He is seriously ill. What does that mean exactly? The Prophet is seriously ill. What Umar is accusing Muhammad with, that Muhammad is mentally ill. This guy is being stupid now. How we know that? Look what Umar, he said, and you have the Quran, so the book of Allah is enough for us. So what Umar is saying to Muhammad, shut up, this guy is going crazy, and what he is talking about, don't we have the Quran? This is not only rude This is telling us that Umar ibn Khattab is riding Muhammad like a donkey, and Muhammad have nothing to say. And this is telling you that Muhammad is not really respected even in his own house. and Umar, he is not saying to him, a prophet, why you want to write something for us which is not going to lead us astray if we have it? Don't we have the Quran? No, he did not say that. He said he's not even talking to him. He is ignoring him. You know, he's considered this man, he's considering Muhammad as a crazy person, stupid person, and he is saying things which does not make sense. So he said the prophet is seriously ill. So he's giving now an excuse for not to listen to Muhammad. Don't listen to him. This is stupid Muhammad. He's crazy. Alright, he's saying stupid things. And he is giving a justification for what he's saying. And you have the Quran. So the book of Allah is enough for us. So obviously Umar is saying here that Muhammad is a crazy man in his element of death. And obviously I can tell actually that Muhammad in the element of death, he is losing his mind. And not only that, he is losing control and losing respect. To the point Umar is not saying that inside his heart. He is saying that in the house of Muhammad, in the presence of people as we see. And you will see here the discussion continue, that people, they are like in a fight about this, what they can do. Well, Muhammad, he want to write a statement, all right, go near so the prophet may write you a statement after which you will not go astray. Who said that? Some, they say that, all right, while others said, Omar said, when they caused a who and a cry before the prophet, Allah Messenger said, go away. Narrated, etc., etc., etc. Ibn Abbas used to say it was very unfortunate Allah Messenger was not prevented from writing the statement for them because of their disagreement and noise. If you make a movie scene about it, if you close your eyes and try to imagine what happened exactly at that day, you will notice that what happened is really a disaster, and Umar ibn al-Khattab obviously accusing this man Muhammad to be in the illusion of death, and he is saying stupid things. And some of the Muslims until now, they think that we are lost today because we did not listen to the Prophet and made him write for us a statement which will not let us go astray. And here actually another important question can be arose from this story. If the Quran is there and this is the guidance of Islam, so what Muhammad will write for them which will not let them go astray? What is that more important than the Quran? Like Muhammad, he have all his time to give them verses in the Quran, and now in the last second of his death he need to say something, and this will raise another question. Why he need to write it down? As long the Muslim, they say to us, they memorize his words. Why you don't just say it? Whatever that thing is. Always Muhammad, supposedly according to Muslims, they recite and they memorize what Muhammad said, even including the hadith. So how come in this statement here Muhammad, he want to write down this statement? I believe Umar, he was afraid from something Muhammad he will say or he will do. So because Muhammad is not important no more, and because Muhammad is in the element of death, Umar, either he was suspecting that the Prophet will say something very stupid, and will make him look really badly as a fool. So he decided to cut it off and say to them, don't listen to him, this guy is losing his mind, he's crazy, huh? And that's it, forget about it, we have the Quran. Or there is something fishy Umar don't want people to know from Muhammad. And here you will see that Muhammad is kind of being a victim, for he is crying out and he's acting like a useless person, hopeless. So when they came next to him to cry, he said to them, go away. All right? So some they said, go near so the Prophet may write for you a statement after which you will not go astray. While others said, as Umar. And when they went to him, to Muhammad, Muhammad, he told them, go away. So either Muhammad really he lost his mind and he do not know what to say. A second he say, come to me, and then a second after he say, go away. And or Muhammad is being upset from the whole discussion happening in front of him, for people don't respect him no more, and Muslims are making fun of him, including his best friend Umar al-Khattab, which is supposedly even a relative to Muhammad. So this story actually, exposes a lot of history about the end of time of Muhammad's life, and how Muslims they treated their prophet with no respect whatsoever, and they consider him as a stupid loser at the end of his time, and whatever he say, it doesn't count. And here I ask myself, I wonder when Muhammad was in the element of death, how many Quran verses he gave, and the Muslims they dump it in the dumpster because they believe obviously he is seriously ill, as Umar he said, and he have a mental issue, so we cannot listen to him anymore, and we cannot take what he say for granted. He is seriously ill, as we see. And it's enough for us to have the Quran, so we do not need all of this, and Muhammad is a stupid man. So think about it and be the judge for the story. And I always, the best way to find out really what is the right thing happened there is to close your eyes and imagine that you were there. Imagine Muhammad in the element of death, he is in the bed, and Umar is telling him to shut up, we do not need you to write anything, you are seriously ill, and he is saying that in front of him, and people fighting in front of Muhammad, and showing a lot of disrespect. Some they agree with Umar, some they agree with Muhammad, and obviously here Umar is preparing himself to take over even before the death of Muhammad. He is the one who you should listen to, and obviously he is the winner. Muhammad, nobody wrote anything from Muhammad, and nobody got anything from Muhammad, and what Umar said, it was to practice. So he is seriously ill. The illness here is about his mental health. We know he's dying, right? So for sure he is not talking about Muhammad being ill and he will die, right? This is about his seriously ill, about his mental, his brain. So don't listen to him. This guy is seriously ill and he cannot say things which is accurate. So he have a damage or a brain damage, and he don't fit to listen to. And we have the Quran, and the Quran is enough. And here actually, as long the Quran is enough, I wonder even why Muslims even they write the Hadith as the Quran is enough. You know what I mean? Actually, there's a Hadith from Muhammad where he said that nobody should write his Hadith. He don't want anyone to write his Hadith, and there's a reason for that. Because Muhammad, when he speak Hadith, he make contradictions, and those contradictions they expose him. So Muhammad don't want them to compare his Hadith, his stories, which is fairy tale stories, with the Quran, because those will contradict those, and those will cause a problem. So he don't want the Hadith to be written. So if the Quran is enough to follow Islam, then that is a big problem, because Quran is an empty book, and we cannot find not even 20% of Islam in the Quran. And the most important here, Muhammad is seriously ill, and Omar is accusing him to be a crazy man in the element of death, and he is shutting him up, showing how much bad the situation of Muhammad, to the point we should not listen to him, and whatever he say, he is a madman. With this, I say thank you. God bless. Don't forget you can download my videos and share them around with your friends. Christ is Lord, Islam is false.